And go.
Hello Darren, my name is Brady, this is my colleague Jordan. Today we'll be playing the role of Scott Sullivan. So the task that we were given was to complete the financial valuation of Home Care Incorporated that was previously conducted by last year's intern. So in addition to conducting a financial valuation of this company, we were sure to go beyond the financials to examine the home healthcare industry, look at the target market of this company, and examine some of the internal characteristics of Home Care Inc. that would make it an attractive takeover target. So for an overall valuation recommendation, we feel that this company should be valued within a range of $2.4 to $3.1 million. And in support of this recommendation, we'll go through some of the major key criteria. So three major criteria. First is the company's financial standing, both projected income statement, balance sheets, and also relative valuation when looking at companies that have been previously sold. The external environment, focusing on the industry, any opportunities and threats, and catalysts for future growth. And third, the internal attributes of this company, such as the inherent strengths and distinctive competencies that represent value for a buyer of Home Care Inc. So moving into our financial valuation, we use three major valuation methods. The first being discounted cash flows, where we used the previously calculated adjusted EBITDA number, remove the amount of taxes, capital expenditures, and the increase in net working capital to arrive at an overall value of $2.85 to $3.4 million. The next method was the capitalized earnings method, where the 2010 adjusted EBITDA figure was discounted back as a perpetuity using a discount rate of 26.4% to give us a valuation range of 2 3/4 to just about $3.2 million.
All right, so building off that, we looked at the precedent transactions and how companies in the industry have previously looked at the values in acquiring these companies. So the first metric we looked at was the purchase price to sales, and from this we got 2.2 to 3.3 million. Then we looked at gross profit, EBITDA, and EBIT. So looking at the precedent transactions, we broke them down into four categories. We looked at large transactions, ones we thought were best fit, kind of smaller ones, and then transactions that we thought were kind of in a higher value market. So Home Care mostly operates in a health service, transportation, and risk assessment industry. So the higher targets operate in a respiratory service and a more niche market. So we kind of valued them in the midpoint and took a range kind of from the top of the small to the kind of the high point of the best comparables that we found. So from this, we weighted the DCF, the capitalized earnings, and our precedent transactions equally, as we felt they all offered kind of a unique and fair value proposition. So from this is where we got a range of 2.4 to 3.1 million for Home Care. So building off this, we analyzed the external environment that the company operates in. So they operate specifically in Houston, but in Yucca County. So Yucca County is currently experiencing a 3.5% population growth. Of this 3.5%, a significantly higher proportion is population growth in the older age market. So they foresee a 13% growth in the 65 plus population by 2030. So Home Care is going to be able to capitalize off this, as 70% of their current revenue comes from the over 65 target market. So although there is a growing market, there are also less threats. So there's easily substitutable service, and they can easily change suppliers in the home care industry. As well, there's a number of substitutes such as assisted living or nursing care if people do not want to live at home and want the whole experience of living in one of those facilities. So potentially looking forward in the future, the emergence of robot nurses. So this is big right now in Japan, and they are creating the technology for this to be a possibility to really reduce the home care expenditures. So the internal attributes. So what makes Home Care a valuable target? So the intangibles, the existing customer relationship and the entrenched establishment in the Yucca County market. They currently have control over all 5 counties in Houston, and we believe this is a significant strength moving forward, as there can't be any more franchises in the area that they are currently servicing. So their service offerings, so they don't just offer home care, they offer risk assessment, they offer transportation services to and from appointments, to and from the hospital. So we believe the risk assessment industry is going as we're seeing a more seniors wanting to stay at home more. So a service that home care offers is coming in, looking at what they have to change in the home, what makes it possible for them to live at home and still sustain the quality of life that they want. So there's sustainable distinctive competency. As I mentioned, there are exclusive franchise rights in the 17 different cities that make up the Houston market. So additional considerations. So for the Kervokian family, the owners, what are their concerns moving forward? So there is uncertainty over the future capital gains rate that they may have to pay, making this a good time to sell, as we can see an increase from 15% to a significantly higher gains rate going forward. So managing their current life and their current stress levels and their current workload, is it worth it putting in the amount of time and the amount of energy to make this company grow moving forward? Their ability to receive fair exit value. So the big question, if they're willing to sell, are they able to sustain their lifestyle upon exiting the business? We believe that with the 2.4 to 3.1 million price available to sustain this value up until an extended period of time. So the market is currently in an uptrend, making it an opportune time to sell.
So looking at the considerations of potential buyers for Home Care Inc., we found three major examples. First is that the Kervokian family appears motivated to sell. In talks with you, Darren, they have indicated that they're looking for a value for their company if they were to walk away today, and they've indicated that the level of stress associated with running this business is starting to become a little more overwhelming as time progresses. Looking at the financials, buyers will be assured that the company is capable of generating positive cash flows going forward, and using Home Care Inc. as the initial target, an acquirer could explore further horizontal acquisitions or horizontal vertical integration within the home care space by acquiring other companies. Looking at the list of recent transactions, you can see that there have been numerous transactions completed within the industry, indicating the availability of additional targets. So just a quick summary. Overall, we see an acquisition value between $2.4 and $3.1 million. This value is supported by a growing target market, increasing industry demand, which is supported by emerging social trends, such as seniors wanting to receive home care rather than being placed into an assisted living facility. Home Care Inc. has a substantial intangible asset base in existence that any purchaser would be acquiring. And we've also considered some of the considerations of not only the Kervokian family, but also potential buyers of this company. So that concludes our analysis, and at this time, we'd like to open up the floor to any questions you may have.
Vicky, what do you have for time?
They used up 9 minutes.
Okay. Do you want to hit that red button for me? Let's get away from it's a thank you.